Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Theorist, here with your host, JC Botero67, aka Vanity Pride, and as usual, we're taking a look at Tower of God, Season 2, Episode 313, Hell Train 3 Orders, Part 5. So, getting right into it, we do get kind of a recap here, and then of course, Bomb and Rachel are going for it. They're battling against each other. It doesn't last very long, though. But the highlights that I got from it were, of course, when Bomb senses that the ray is there, granting Rachel more power than what he's used to seeing from her or getting from her, I guess. But anyway, when Bomb forms or summons his Shinzu black hole sphere orb, that is when the ray just suddenly vanishes away. It's really crazy. So I thought it was interesting to see, this power surrounding Rachel, and all of a sudden it's just gone. So that was how the battle went for them. And then we transition over to White, who is battling against Andrasi. And I actually do want to read a bit from that. All right, so starting with Joaquin's thoughts, this Shinzu is such a nuisance. It's fast and I can't predict its movement. Not even I've seen this kind of Shinzu before. And Andrasi's like, is that all you've got? I expected a slayer like you to be super strong, but I guess you're not. And I love, I actually scrolled through the comments again today, and I love how someone said that, oh, it's the Queen of Hearts. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so true. See, this is why Andrasi is best girl. This is why she is like the princess of the princesses. Like, she's like the creme de la creme. Top of the crop, you know what I mean? So, I mean, she gets hearts. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Joaquin continues, you sure talk big for someone who's being helped by a guide, princess. Although even I'm disappointed in myself right now, too. And then back to his thoughts again. That guide is studying my moves and telling her what to do in advance using that observer. I can't believe this. She even started seeing things on the train. So, okay, so the observer then is Hwaryun's. Okay, I'm curious now. Because remember how I was saying last chapter that Miseng, or maybe it was the previous one, whatever, in the two for review, I was talking about how Miseng had this mirror thing that she was able to see Rachel and Yuraha through. So basically spying on them with this mirror thing, which is actually called an observer. So, I mean, I doubt that Hwaryun lent it to her, or maybe she did. I don't know. I don't know if it's the same one. What's interesting, too, is because Miseng is just a regular. That's what I thought. Like, I don't think she's a guide of any sort. But if that's what she ends up being, like, that's pretty cool. That's pretty new, you know? It really defies, like, the stereotypical... As I mentioned last chapter, I was like, oh, Miseng's like this cute, adorable, sweet girl. And I guess she's alive. That's good, because she's standing right here. I just now noticed that. So, I kind of worried for nothing, I guess, last chapter, and was complaining for nothing. But, just saying, like... All right, so... Andrasi is utilizing the bong bong. Oh, okay, and this is where Beta steps out. And so he's about to land a punch on Joaquin, and it's funny because Beta's pissed off. He's like, how dare you use me, a living ignition weapon like this? So basically the notes that I took on this end scene here, or end image for this scene, was that, oh, okay, Beta's obviously about to punch Joaquin. Is he going to be able to avoid it, or is he going to get hit by it? And I'm talking about Joaquin, of course. But that's where we leave off with them. So we won't find out what happens until next chapter. But in the meantime, we are back with Bomb and Rachel, and this scene was just amazing. So I'm going to read through all of it. Bomb starts, is this all you came to the tower for, Rachel? I told you not to leave and to just stay there with me. I really felt the happiest when we were there together. And yet all you want to do after coming so far is hurt and trick people to climb the tower? And he's clenching his fist. Why did you try to kill Kun? He had nothing to do with you climbing the tower. I don't understand anymore. Why did you do that? And then he repeatedly asks why. And I mean, he's just making this floor or this room that they're in just rumble, crack. Like, his fury is just physically shown, aside from him shouting out. And it's crazy because, I mean, even Rachel said, like, last chapter, you've never gotten this mad at me before. And now she's just kind of kneeled before him, flinching because she's freaked out at how pissed off Bomb is. Like, you know, she took it a step too far, and this is the consequence of that. And it's so sad because Bomb is, like, shedding tears. And when I first read this scene, I was very emotionally touched by it. And I didn't cry. It's hard to make me cry. But, you know, I was touched. I'm not gonna lie. It was hard because, I mean, like I said before, Rachel is someone that Baum had always looked up to. Rachel was his best friend, was his whole world, and now, you know, she's doing all these bad things. I mean, I can understand some of the things that Rachel did, I guess. I mean, killing people kind of takes it too far, but then again, I mean, as you're progressing your way to the top, you're just gonna have to get rid of more people. Truth be told. So, you know, and not that many are gonna make it to whatever the highest floor is to get their wishes granted and become rankers and all that. And I mean, no one's reached the top of the tower yet, so that's another thing. But I mean, you see, like, the number of rankers and high rankers that there are. The number isn't that big, you know, compared to all these people competing. And I mean, we've seen people die. We've seen people, you know, kind of stick around in the middle ground, you know, like the 20th floor and whatnot, around that area, what's called the middle area, I believe. We see people just, you know, kind of stay there. They kind of want to live, you know, peaceful lives for now, or, you know, they're training to become stronger to then continue their climb up the tower. But I mean, just the number keeps lessening the higher up you go. So, I mean, I can't blame Rachel, I guess. I mean, yeah, she probably shouldn't have targeted Kuhn. I mean, but, you know, I guess Rachel has a point. Like, I hate that I'm defending her right now, but I mean, she does have a point as to, you know, she's climbing the tower just like anybody else. I mean, you look back to first season when they had to bring down, 400 people at the start? They had to bring it down to like 200 people. I mean, you're killing off people right there. That doesn't make you much different from what Rachel was trying to do now, I guess. So, I don't know. Those are my thoughts on that. I'm totally, like, ruining this moment, you know, of this emotional scene. But we'll carry on now. Baum continues, I can't do this anymore. I really can't understand you anymore. I don't care anymore whether or not you climb the tower, but don't ever show yourself again to the people who matter to me. If anything like this ever happens again, I may really have to kill you. And then Yuraha's freaking out. She's like, Rachel! And Rachel's just, like, crumpled on the floor. You know, she feels bad, I guess. And that was something else that I noted, too. You know, it's like, as much as I shouldn't feel bad for her, I kind of do. I mean, she pushed it so far that she's losing Baum as a friend. You know, I mean, okay, I think this is the point that I was trying to get to earlier, was the fact that, you know, yeah, we all hated Rachel when she pushed Baum, but then it turned out that Baum didn't die and that he was destined for a greater purpose, to work with Foog and therefore, you know, take down Zahard and the Zahard Kingdom, because Zahard is corrupt. So, I mean, it's kind of a good thing that Rachel pushed Baum, but then she overstepped her boundaries by killing Akraptor, Prince, trying to kill Ed and Dan, of course, trying to kill Kuhn. So, I mean, there are points where I can back her up, other points where I can't. And so, I mean, I do feel bad for her now, because it's like, if she would have just, I guess if she wasn't too ambitious to try and take Baum's position. I mean, Baum was the chosen one when she was expecting it to be her, but it's like, Baum's your friend. Baum's a good person. Like, he's not corrupt. He's not going to turn against Foog and all that. Like, I don't know. That's the kind of feeling that I get. And so I feel like, or I wish, I guess, that Rachel would have turned out a bit different and would have thought about things differently if she would have, kind of cheered Bomb on. And I mean, I don't know. I guess she wants to be like the main star or something. It's like if you would just, kind of provide help for Bomb, not so much like a sidekick, but if you were like a co-protagonist or something, I feel like that would have been good for her to accept. But I don't know. She's just so focused on herself. And I wish that she would have like pushed past that, because she sees that Bomb is a good person. And obviously the aim, I mean, I don't know if she has other goals apart from what Fuch's trying to go for. But yeah, it's like, I feel bad for her in that sense. Like, she's lost so much, and now with losing Bomb, it's even more so. And I feel like that's why she feels bad, in a sense. But, I mean, you can't completely trust her, because we know how she is. She's manipulative, she's cunning. So it's really hard to buy into her being hurt by this. So anyway, continuing on with the scene, Bomb says, "Bye now. I hope we never meet again." And then Rachel finally speaks up and she says, "You really are glowing. You've always told me I was like a shining star to you. But I knew you were the one destined to shine like a star someday, not me. I was just destined to look at you shining from a place in the dark forever. I was afraid of that destiny." And she's choking up too, so like I said, it's such an emotional scene where Bomb's not the only one crying, Rachel is. Something else that I noted too, and that I loved, that I love that SIU did this, was, he didn't make Bomb this typical macho man protagonist. Like, Bomb is going through emotions, because it's hard for him. It's hard for him to accept the fact that Rachel has turned into, like, this other person. She's not the same person she used to be, and so that hurts Bomb, and it hurts him to let her go. But he's got no other choice, really. And I mean, like I've said, I feel like I've talked too much about Rachel already as to, trying to understand her viewpoint and, wishing she would be different and all that. But looking past that, I feel it hurts her in a sense too, like I said before. So, I don't know. I just loved this scene so much. This was my favorite scene out of the whole chapter. And then Bomb's like, "That's just an excuse." And Rachel continues, "But you don't know anything. In fact, no one here knows anything about you. I'm the only one who knows about you. Aren't you curious, Bomb? Don't you want to know why you were trapped in that cave?" And this draws Bomb's attention. Of course, this is where the scene ends between Bomb and Rachel, and then we get one final scene, and then that's the end of the chapter. So we're not going to really know, what Bomb's answer is until next time. But as much as I want to know why he was in that cave, it's just so hard to, trust Rachel now. Because it's like, even if like in my case, right, where it's like, oh, I feel bad for her right now, but it's like, oh, can you really trust her though? Can you really buy into this? So I know I jotted down here that I was going to be upset if Bomb, kind of gave in and is like, okay, like, I forgive you, tell me what's going on. But it's like, at the same time, oh man, it's just rough. It's rough. Like, you can't really tell with Rachel. And I think that's what makes her such an interesting character. And that's why, I defend her and I like her. I mean, okay, I do want to talk about this thing really quick. So there was this one post I saw, I think it was on Tumblr or was it Facebook? But anyway, it's like, name me a fandom. So, like you post it, your friends will throw any fandom at you. It could be like Inuyasha, it could be Phantom of the Opera, it could be whatever, right? Or Chess the Musical. Haha. I'm feeling chessy today because I chose to dress up this way. But anyway, Chess is a great musical. I don't know if I've really talked about it. I mean, I did release that one video some time ago about, oh, I'm going to watch these chess movies. I actually haven't seen them yet. I do have one final renewal with them, so hopefully soon I will get to those movies. But anyway, enough about Chess the Musical. I can save that for another day, because I feel like this video is already running long enough, right? Because I can't stop talking, and I can't stop going off on a tangent on things. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make. Okay, so the point that I was trying to make was, okay, you post that thing, right? And so the very first question was, what's one character that you never expected to like as much as you do now? And of course, my answer for that is Rachel, because I was part of the in crowd, like, oh yeah, like when she pushed Bomb, and, you know, we all thought he died. It was like, oh, I hate that bitch. You know, I was like all in on that. But then I slowly started to back away from that. Even after, you know, she betrayed Kuhn, you know, she almost tried to kill him, like, by participating in that whole plan with the Hand of Arlen. And then, of course, when she tried to kill off Ed and Dan, and, you know, I mean, I blame her also for Guillotang's death, I guess. I mean, you know, she was working with Michael and Apple, like, they were all working together, so, you know, with one of them killing off some other person on their team, I mean, you know, they're all at fault, I feel. But yeah, even despite all that, like, Rachel is so intriguing to me, and, you know, I just love the complexity of her character, and I'm really curious to know more on her background. And of course, I mean, this is a chance that we have. If Baum is willing to listen to her and hear her out, and if she's actually telling the truth and not being manipulative and shit, then, you know, we have a chance to learn more about her, and I'm really, really intrigued by that. And of course, learning more about Baum, too, because it's like, why was he in that cave? Why is he called the 25th Baum? You know, was he some experiment, some clone of some sort? You know, there's so many possibilities. But anyway, let me not hold us back by keeping blabbing away like I have been this whole review. I wanted to make this one a fast one, and it's just not working out today. So anyway, last scene, of course, we go back to Yoo Sung, who is about to receive the death penalty, right? So he's all like, too bad, I wanted to try a lot more coffees. I guess this is my last cup. And I mean, I feel Yoo Sung, because I am such a coffee addict. I'm not even gonna lie. So Yoo Sung is like my spirit animal. But anyway, someone does come in to save the day. They're shouting out, who says it's the last? And they're throwing an attack at Red Brubia, who of course was that Zahar family messenger that was basically telling Yoo Sung, oh, well, you're gonna die. And it turns out this person is none other than Evankel, okay? Or Evankel. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. I personally like Evankel. I think it has a cool little ring to it. So anyway, he does throw this attack at that dude, you know, kind of a distraction. And he says, it's been a while, Hansung. And Hansung just gets up and he's like, oh my gosh, you're back. Back, you mean? So that's Red Brubia. Lord of Ankel. And then Lord of Ankel says, how dare you enter my floor and try to harm my servants? You've either lost your mind or you think you can beat me, huh? And so I love the included boxes here. They include the title of his name. So Ruler of Evankel's Hell, aka the Floor of the Test. High ranker, ranked number 60, Evankel. So I didn't really expect him to look like this. I mean, not to judge or anything, but I also just never expected to meet him at all. Like, you know, I knew he was gone away, but like I didn't expect him to come back, I guess. So I thought it was pretty awesome that SIU surprised us like that. It was really cool. And yeah, so I was trying to look up the blog notes for this chapter and I couldn't find them, sadly. But I feel like the blog notes for chapter 312 were still pretty good and pretty relevant for what we read this chapter. So I'm just going to go ahead and backtrack and read through that real quick. All right, so here SIU says, hi, this episode's postscript will begin with a wild death sentence. Yoo Sung is too difficult to draw, therefore he should be punished by death. He has long hair when the weather is hot, therefore he should be punished by death. Anyway, this episode was about Baum, who is better at showing anger than expected, and the man in danger, Hansung. So yeah, I have to agree. I never expected Baum to get this angry. Like, it's insane, and I love it. And I feel like that's me, because Baum, you know, he's, you know, really kind and, you know, kind of more kept to himself, I guess. But yeah, like, he doesn't resort to anger that easily. Like, obviously, Rock does. Kuhn has had his moments too. But Baum, you never saw him that angry before. And I mean, that's me. Like, when I get angry, I just start to cry and I get choked up and I can't talk, so I can't yell. I'm not the aggressive angry type. I'm like the more reserved angry type. And so seeing Balm like this, I'm like, dude, what if I have that in me? I'm pretty sure I do. I mean, I'm taking these acting classes and, you know, my weakest emotion to do is anger. And so, I mean, my professors are really hoping that I'll bring out something, you know, because I have it in me. And I trust that I do too. It's just I gotta find something that really pushes my buttons. But anyway, enough about me. Back to the blog here. Personally, I think Balm is a character who went through a lot of changes compared to the past. Depending on how you look at it, he might as well be one of the characters who goes through the most development. I agree. Totally. 100%. Previously, he felt like he was defending Rachel. But now that is no longer the case, and it seems like he is finding a reason to fight and a reason to climb the tower. True, very good points made. In contrast to him, Rachel is more of a stagnant character. Rather than trying to improve her strength, she was disheartened by her circumstances and tried to exploit her surroundings. Exactly, I've said that before, too. It's like, you know, instead of focusing, like, on herself, she keeps comparing herself to people. That's bringing her down, and I mean, that's bringing out, like, the worst... more and more of a worse attitude from her, too. Also, somehow she is currently more possessed by the obsession to climb the tower than by the reason why she climbs the tower. True as well. I think those kinds of things are widening the gap between Balm and her. However, I do not think these are just Rachel's problems. I think if an ordinary person were to be placed in an extreme competition, anyone can surely act like Rachel. True. I defended her earlier, so, I mean, SIU and I were, like, on the same playing field here. Regardless of how the story progresses, the opposition or the contrast between Balm and Rachel would be the core of Tower of God's main story. As for Hansung, well, goodbye, Hansung. You were a difficult character to draw. I promise you won't go far. Foo-foo. Everyone have a healthy and happy week, etc., etc. So yeah, I'm glad Hansung isn't getting killed off, but I mean, who knows? I mean, SIU just threatened us like, hey, I promise he won't go far. So it's like, like, you know, he's spared now, but who knows down the road what'll happen. So anyway, I will leave you guys with that. Thank you for tuning in, as always, and thanks for sticking around. I know I go off on a tangent several times during this review, or went on a tangent. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was definitely a different review than what I'm used to, I guess. I'm in a very talkative mood today, so that's what this review turned out to be. But anyway, thank you guys so much again for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing your guys' comments and theories below. And be sure to give the video a like, and be sure to subscribe, and tell your friends again. All right, thanks guys. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.